Good morning everyone, welcome to our small footprint. My name is Nyssa, and if you're new here, we are a family of 8 who live off-grid in Australia. Today's video is our monthly food hamper video. So for anyone who hasn't been here for one of these before, we have this wonderful service that we have access to. Peter and Lois from Aberdeen Pantry, they organise these food hampers once a month. So what they are is they're similar to like a food pantry, a food bank, that sort of thing, but they're a pre-packed hamper that we receive once a month. So it gets delivered to Peter and Lois, who are close by, and then we collect from them. So everyone pre-orders with beef, at least sort of it's a 10-day or a week period beforehand, so they know how many to get, and then on the day we go and collect them, or Darryl does, because we all know that I tend not to leave the house. So you pay $50 for the hamper, and then you get whatever you get each month. So they're always well and truly valued above the $50, but you don't always know what you're going to get. It's always going to be a mix of dry goods, pantry goods, as well as meals and meats and frozen and bread and all that sort of stuff. They also have these fruit bins that they have, so fruit and veggie bins. So they get these full bins of fruit and veg that you have access to for a gold coin donation. So in Australia, our $1 coins and $2 coins are gold coins. So we use those as our donations to be able to access specific things within the scope of what they're offering. I always just put $10 extra in when I pay for my hamper, because I pay for it via FPOS, and then let Darryl grab what he wants from the fruit and veg bins without having to worry about that sort of thing. So sometimes each things are specific pricing. I think there was boxes of bananas were like $2 for the box of bananas or something, and watermelons were 2 for $1 or something like that. But I just put $10 extra in so that Darryl can grab a bit of each when he goes in, and we don't worry about adding it up as such. Like it is what it is. So they also run a pantry, so they have a shed with fridges and stuff in it with pantry items as well. So and they open that pantry twice a month, so every second Saturday of the month, so that you can go and grab some of the stuff from there. And they have all sorts of things to do with like animal food and litter, washing detergent, some pantry goods like noodles and soups and tin tuna. Darryl quite often buys tin tuna and stuff from there, because it's a good price compared to what I pay full price and things like that. So all that sort of thing that you can access every second Saturday as well if you desire, and they have that open on the day that you collect the hamper. So the hampers are available from 11, and Darryl goes and grabs the hamper and anything that he wants from the shop and stuff like that. He bought 2-minute noodles this month, and which he buys quite regularly as from there, because then he uses them while I'm away shopping. A nice easy meal to, you know, put some meat and stuff in and enjoy while I'm gone. Mosquitoes everywhere. Must have some water sitting stagnant somewhere, but I can't see it, so I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to follow that up. Alrighty. So this month's hamper, I've spread it all out. It's Sunday morning. We got it yesterday. I just didn't get a chance to do this intro, but I'll put the footage of it in now for you of what we got. And then the plan always is to try and do a little bit of a what we eat in a week for the week after we get the hamper, to show how we're using some of that stuff. The hamper has fallen in a little bit of it's because it's every 4 weeks and I shop every 6 weeks. Sometimes it falls at a better point than others. So at the moment, we're only 2 weeks into our 6-week shop. Does that sound right? I'd have to look at dates, but I think so. I think it's still 4 weeks before I'll come back with groceries. So the next one might fall right on grocery time, which is, we still grab it because it's worthwhile grabbing, but that'll mean that we'll grab it the day after I'm back from groceries, which means that I can't compensate for what I'm getting in the groceries, because I won't know until we get it. But that's on me, not on them, because I shop 6 weekly, and eventually we'd like to drag it out to 8 weekly, and maybe then it'll be timed a little bit better for that purpose, but we'll see. We always enjoy getting them. The kids always get a few treats in there that I wouldn't necessarily buy otherwise, just because we don't need to, and we bake a lot of the stuff. It's like they get the bread and stuff, and we have sandwiches for a couple of days, which isn't something that we'd normally have, because like we had toasted sandwiches for lunch yesterday and things like that, which isn't something we'd normally have, because I mostly bake buns or sourdough or whatever, or flatbreads and things like that. So it gives them a bit of a treat as well. So here's the hamper for this month. I'll put the clip in here, and then I'll come back to say goodbye. Alrighty, so this month we got a big bag of bananas, looks sort of like one of the boxes, so probably sort of a 10 kilo lot of bananas. We also got these pomelos. Apparently they're sort of like a grapefruit. I'm not sure, I've never had one before, but we will do something with these, a citrus sort of a fruit. We got a bunch of the individual meals. They're all the same, I'm not sure. It looks like curry, rice and beans or something in those ones. Some mince. I think this is turkey mince that we get regularly, so there's 3 of those. There's also 3 lots of chicken, so there's some sliced stuff, some whole stuff, and another thing, a sliced one. Some of the little mini cheesecakes, which are quite nice. I just stick them in the freezer and I eat them when I feel like something sweet. We got a couple of bags of the chicken wings. We actually tend to use these for the dogs. We could cook them and eat them, of course, but the dogs, it's really good for the dogs to have raw chicken bones, so it's really handy to come in. We got 2 rolls of this turkey breast, cooked turkey breast slicing meat, I suppose. So we'll have to defrost it and slice it up and be like a turkey loaf or something. So there's 2 of those. There we got a bag of sweet potatoes and a bag of chilies. We're going to have to go through this one pretty quickly. There's some squished ones in there, so we will sort that one. As well as apples. There was a box of pads and a roll of toilet paper. Darryl bought himself some noodles from the store, and there was 3 whole chickens as well in there. We also got I don't know, it's a flavor base of some sort. I'll have to Google that to see what that is. Another one of the powdered McDonald's birthday latte mixes, which was really nice. I quite enjoyed that last one. A couple of the Real Stock flavor boosts, a tin of coconut milk. There's a tin of instant coffee, a box of Wheat Bix, some of the lamb spice blend, and some white rice. There's also a few tins of soft drinks, some Pepsi and some Coke and stuff there. We got a tin of baked beans and a tin of Spaghetti-saurus. So looks like dinosaur shaped tin spaghetti. Some mouthwash, a couple of boxes of the Bluey snacks, and a couple of boxes of the 3-seed sourdough crackers, as well as a couple of boxes of the chili and pepita crackers, and there's also the pepita and linseed crackers. There's some of these protein style treat things, chocolate fudge brownie. There's a couple of chewy caramel, and then a bunch of the white choc blondie bites, a bottle of water, some hand sanitizer, and some sparkling water. We also got 4 loaves of bread there, a big bag of cucumbers. This looks like the bag that I bought in the last grocery haul, so a big 10-kilo bag of cucumbers, a couple of watermelons, and then a mixed box here that has some onions, some more sweet potatoes, a bit more bananas, and there's some white potatoes in there as well as a mixed box. So that was this month's hamper. So the noodles were from the pantry. I don't remember if I said that in the when I was doing the voiceover of what we got. So the 2-minute noodles Darryl bought from the pantry. I don't know how much he paid for it. He sorted that out. And the pomelos, the apples, the chilies, and the bananas were the and sweet potatoes maybe were the excess bins that were on top of the standard hamper. There was a lot of meat in this month's hamper. Sometimes it's really a bit light on the meat, and sometimes it's not. It really just depends. Even when it's light on meat, it's still worth over the $50, especially at the cost of meat at the moment. But there was a little bit of extra meat in there this month, and I'm looking forward to trying that turkey roll. I believe it's pre-cooked, so I'm going to have a good look at it and maybe just defrost it and slice it. And that'll make a really nice wrap topping or sandwich topping, or even heat it up. It might be nice with veggies and stuff. I don't know. The kids were saying the other day, because we've got that turkey that turned up on the property, and people were talking about how, you eat them and stuff. And the kids were saying the other day that they haven't tasted turkey. They have, because I like turkey, like shaved turkey lunch meat, and I would have bought it when they were small, but we haven't had it in a long time because I don't really buy deli meat anymore other than ham. So they'll get to try that turkey, which will be interesting. And those big whole chickens will be really good. I actually got a gift from a viewer. Susan sent me a stovetop pressure cooker. Absolutely fantastic. Something that I've mentioned obviously on video, because I've been looking at them for ages but couldn't decide what exactly I wanted or whatever. So Susan sent me this stovetop pressure cooker, which will be amazing. So I might try doing, because I know that you can pressure cook whole chickens from frozen. And it looks like it should be big enough to fit one of those chickens in. So that might be a test run on that. I also have plans to make birria this month, and I have short ribs and some beef there to do that, which will be ideal in the pressure cooker. Normally I use my canners as a pressure cooker, but because they're so large, they have a tendency to burn on the bottom because they have to cook. They have to get so hot to get the pressure up, because there's lots of empty space, and the more empty space, the harder it works to build the pressure. So having a smaller cooker only will make pressure cooking food that much simpler, and it's great for things like the pie fillings and stuff like that, with the cheap cuts of beef and ribs and all that sort of stuff. So super grateful for that one. That will be amazing. So yes, whole chickens aren't something I normally get because they're just too expensive these days, though they have come down in price a little bit. I noticed that Coles had them for, I think it was $3.50 a kilo, and I almost bought a couple. And then when I went to Costco on the most recent trip, they normally only have the Lilydale organic whole chickens, and they're well out of my price range, like, I don't know, $8.99 a kilo or something. And for the amount of chicken that you get on that, I'm much better off just buying thighs or whatever. As much as I love a whole chicken and I love making stock from it, that's just the way it is. But I did notice that they had non-organic ones, and I think they were like $3.50 or $3.99 a kilo as well. Of course, if I plan to buy them this shopping trip, when I get there, they probably won't have them. But I might keep it in mind that they were there, and hopefully I can buy a few of them. I really like to spatchcock them and cook them as split chickens with marinade and stuff and things like that, and they taste really good that way. I'm also going to have another look at so anyone who watched my actual shopping trip, I got some of those split boneless chickens on clearance from Coles or Woolworths. And normally I don't buy that sort of stuff because it's just too hard. Like, it then has to be frozen, things like that. It all just didn't seem to work well. But with the air fryer, one of those only takes like 20 minutes to cook, which is ideal for a lunch meal. So I got them on clearance for like $11, and I think they were like a Korean barbecue or something flavor, these ones. And if I cooked that for 20 minutes, 25 minutes using the Jackery with the air fryer, and cooked up flatbreads while I was waiting, we could have this fresh marinated chicken to have on the flatbreads. I could even cook it and freeze it, and then that way we'd pull it out a bit like what I do with the thighs. And at $11 a kilo, that is pretty much the same price as buying thighs or breast. It just means that we're getting a range of the meat. So I'm going to consider that for next shopping trip as well. All these things that I consider and switch and change as needed each shopping trip to make the budget stretch the way I want it to stretch, and things like that. And of course, we're doing this big construction at the moment, and there's a lot of costs with that. We've just booked the trailer for Darryl to collect the roofing and stuff that needs to be collected. So we're getting the actual buildings delivered. We paid a delivery fee for that, but the roofing and the flooring for the breezeway between we had to purchase, and because we're doing that at a 3.6 meter length, we can't carry it on our trailer or our ute. So we've had to hire a car trailer to do it, and we have to pick it up in Brisbane, the roofing and stuff. So we've had to book a trailer for 3 days because Darryl will go down there, he'll spend the night at a motel, pick everything up and drive back. And then James, the family member who's coming to help us, is going to drive the trailer back on Sunday evening. But it meant that I had an overnight stay in a motel for him as well, and things like that. So whilst we borrowed some money to help with the buildings and things like that, we're going to go over what we've borrowed in the other bits and pieces as we decided to do everything all at once, because I feel like we need to get it all done at once to make it work, but also because by April we're in single digits overnight. So it kind of needs to be all sealed up and ready to go before April. Otherwise those bedrooms will be freezing overnight. So anyway, that was a bit of a ramble on a video that's not really relevant to it. But that's what I do. So that was this month's Hamper, and I will see you on the next video. I've got another food video that I'm writing the notes out for, of a prep video for you that I will get out, and I will try and record all the meals that we do this week for a sort of a what we eat in a week, using that hamper food, trying that pressure cooking that whole chicken and things like that. So see you guys on the next video. Thanks so much for watching.